one half of what could be the most exciting flyweight fight of 2025. And we got him right here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event. Live from HBF Stadium Festival Hall. Melbourne Pavilion. Not even backstage, we're literally outside. Was that the best fight card in Australian MMA history?
Call me crazy, but make sure you call me when I'm right.
Be good if the Aussie MMA Instagram page would give us a bit of glow up because...
Welcome everybody to the Australian MMA podcast. My name is Mitch Tinley and today's guest is Brian Hyslop. He's taking on Anthony Drilich at Eternal MMA 93 Feb 22nd, HBF Stadium, live on UFC Fight Pass. Now, we all know Anthony Drilich. He just fell short of the Contender Series against Sean Gauci and unfortunately didn't pick up a UFC contract. He's a multiple-time Eternal Flyweight champion, a title held by the great Steve Erceg, who, competed for the UFC flyweight title. So it's a prestige-filled belt. Now, Brian Hyslop is coming all the way over from Glasgow, Scotland. He had a fight, his last fight previously in the PFL. If you don't know, it's the Pepsi to the Coke that is the UFC. So PFL actually coming to Australia. So, stay tuned for that. But Brian had a few years off in between those fights and he vaguely tells us why. He's a very intriguing guy. I really like him. He's sort of calmly intense. He's got an incredible background in boxing. Anthony Drilich is probably as Jeremy Stevens would say, the hardest hitting 125-pounder around. So, look, in my opinion, I think they could stand and it could be absolute fireworks with any man going down at any moment. But it is the main event, 3 rounds, I believe he said, main event of Eternal 93. So we're going to hear from our friends at Vex, and on the other side, we're going to chat to the man that spent an entire day flying over here. The first hour in Australia he spent speaking to me. So ladies and gentlemen, here from Vex, on the other side, Brian Hyslop.
Vex MMA has officially teamed up with PRP Global and their brand new website is now live. Head over to Vex MMA to check out their latest gear, perfect for fighters and fans alike. Whether you're stepping into the cage or just repping the lifestyle, Vex MMA has you covered.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. He's a very busy man. Looks like he's out at dinner. Brian Hyslop, mate, welcome.
How you doing, mate? Pleasure to be on.
What are you up to? Where are you?
I'm in the fucking hotel. I've just landed. After a full day travelling.
What has it been? First off, how was the trip? Where were you in Scotland?
I'm from Glasgow.
Is that where you met Cam O'Neill?
No, I know him through his nephew, Neil Laird.
Ah, okay, cool. And does he run a show up there?
Yeah, he's got a team. He's got a team, run shows. He's a good guy, good mate.
Oh, okay, cool. So at least you're not getting set up with some light heavyweight pretending to be a flyweight.
Fuck it, bring it on. Bring it on. You can't be the light heavyweight.
Well, is that how it all... I mean, I guess you kind of explained it, but is that how this fight came about?
Yeah, my mate Chris... So I was meant to be fighting in Scotland last week, and that fight cancelled a few weeks ago. And my mate... I was always training for a fight, and my friend Chris Bungyard, who's with me now, he said Neil Laird's uncle's got a fight in Australia. Do you want to fight? And they gave me a few options, and I said yes to every one of them. So it looks like I'm fighting Anthony Drilich for the main event, which is good.
Jeez, I mean, and did you know anything about him before you took the fight?
No, just since I got the name and I looked on that.
Do you look at guys' highlights and stuff, and do you give any stock to it at all?
I mean, I appreciate every fighter, and I like to watch, and I like him. He's a great fighter, and I'm really looking forward to it. I don't like make heroes anybody or super fear anybody. I'm not a big fan of MMA, really, to be honest with you, like that in that way. I don't watch fights, but if there's an opponent and there's a study that I have to do, I do the study.
Do you not watch fights?
I don't watch fights, mate. I do fighting. I don't watch fights. It's like guys. I like the fans and stuff like that, and they make the sport amazing. But I'm no big on watching fights. I like getting into the gym. I like fighting.
So, do you watch UFC cards at all, or?
I don't, because UFC's on at like 5 a.m. in Scotland. I don't want to sit up at 5 a.m. and watch a fight. But the next day there's like clips or there's somebody says that's a decent fight. Go and watch it, and I'll obviously study it and analyse the fight and study the techniques of it. But I don't watch it as a fan, if you understand what I mean.
Did you start as a fan?
No, I started as a boxer. My dad was a professional boxer. My granddad was a professional boxer. And I was just always in about boxing gyms and fought and competed since I was a young boy.
Do you get, I don't know, anxiety? Does it feel like going to work if you watch fights? Do you not get enjoyment out of it?
It's like watching porn. I'd rather fuck a woman than watch porn. You know what I mean?
That's a great analogy. I don't think that could sum it up any better.
I don't want to disrespect MMA fans. Obviously,
Yeah.
that's just my personal thing.
But you know what my job is then? I don't like doing it or watching it, but I will talk about porn.
So you like commenting on the porn that's been watched?
Asking them how it was.
You're an analyzer.
Like, that's cool. Okay. Well, then, do you watch your own highlights?
Yeah, obviously I study my own fights and I study potential opponents and like you're saying the UFC. So obviously I'm from Scotland, which is in Europe. I like to watch European cards and study potential opponents for me.
Okay, I like that. So it's more like analytical in terms of how it helps your fight career, not just, I'm just a fan and enjoy watching it for fun.
Yeah, this is a career for me. This is a profession for me. I'm also a coach, so if I'm going to watch something, it's to help my fighting ability or my coaching ability.
Well, then what's your assessment of Anthony Drilich so far then?
He's good, really good. He's a hard-hitting southpaw and he's a good guy on the ground. So I see a massive potential for a great fight here, to be honest with you. And I came here, I flew a full day and prepared for this to come for a fucking war. But I'm not coming in and going to enjoy a quick, easy fight or give way to a quick, easy fight. I want a 3-round war that everybody in Australia's grandchildren are going to be talking about, or all over the world's what I'm talking about. And to be honest with you, all respect to him. I really respect him, and he's been respectful about me when he's talking. But I came for war, and that means I want to taste what Australian blood tastes like. I heard it's sweet.
I love that. Now, I heard somewhere that you're coming down from bantamweight to flyweight. Is that true? And how's the weight issues then, obviously, flying for a full day?
We'll need to see what it's like on Friday. But yeah, I came down from bantamweight. I'm actually a flyweight, mate. I'm a flyweight. I fought on PFL, which is a massive show in Scotland, against a good guy. And I'm going to take an opportunity. So if a great fight appears, I'll fight at bantamweight, obviously, but it's not really my weight. I'm a flyweight.
Now, I think on your tabology here, it's got 2018 was your last fight before the last one at 2024. Was that because of coaching or?
Because of a crazy fucking life, mate. A crazy, mad life. To be honest with you, I don't think we've got enough time in this podcast for it, but yeah, I always trained and remained training, and I wasn't competing, but I was still active, still active like in the gym and stuff like that.
Go on. Tell us a little bit. What's been going on? 6 years out. Why?
6 years out. See the craziest, maddest story you can think of, times that by 10, and then you'll probably have an idea. But it's not.
What? Really?
No, just a wee bit of unpurposeful living, maybe.
Really?
Yeah, a wee bit of unpurposeful living, and
that's
got offered a fight in PFL, which is one of the biggest shows in the world, against one of the best bantamweights in Europe, and I went, fuck it, let's go, and I went and had a good go.
Well, why do you think they offered you that 6 years out?
I think it's because I'm really aesthetically pleasing and handsome. So they just thought, we need to get this guy on the poster because it's going to bring in sales. I think that's the same idea with Eternal MMA as well. They say he's a really handsome guy, let's get him on.
Oh, yeah. No, I heard that. Anthony Drilich is often saying that. He's like, I need handsome guys to fight.
Why did they get me on PFL? I don't know, mate. I don't know. Just God put that opportunity in my hand and I took it.
Well, I think we got here. You've been fighting since 2009. I can only imagine you've been training a lot longer and probably had a few, car park MMA events that don't go on the record. But how long have you been competing in MMA and when did you start?
Well, I've been competing in martial arts since I was 4. My first fight when I was 4. Boxed amateur since I was 14 and got an MMA in 2009. I had a few amateur fights, I've had professional fights, Muay Thai fights, I've had bare knuckle fights, I've had the unlicensed, unspoken about fights. I've had a lot more of them than professional fights, but obviously can't talk about them. I'm a fighter. I've been fighting since I was 4-year-old.
I think jurisdiction's fine in Australia. You can talk about Scottish fights.
Maybe. Aye. But I'm here now. I'm here now to fight on Eternal MMA.
Was it like a tough upbringing then that led you into fighting, or how did you why did it even start? Just the grandfather and father and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Everybody thinks our city's tough, but Glasgow is quite a tough city. We had the famous accolade of the murder capital of Western Europe, and it was like we held that with honour. And you need to learn how to fight, especially I'm 5'4". I'm a small guy, and you need to defend yourself for that. But the boxing for me and the martial arts and MMA was a great outlet, a great way to channel that aggression and energy. And I survived attempted murders when I was younger, like people stabbing me and that kind of stuff. And I could have went that way again. I could have went street way, and I probably wouldn't be here speaking to you just now. But I'm here.
What's the scariest sort of moment in your life / career?
When my wife faced me. When my wife had a bad day.
She stabbed you, eh?
She's a stabber. The scariest thing is maybe something happened to my children and worrying about it.
Yeah, do you enjoy MMA, or is it more of like a job?
I fucking love it, mate. I love fighting. I love sparring. I spar everybody. Like, even when I was inactive, I was sparring world champion boxers and heavyweight MMA fighters and UFC fighters and stuff like that. I'm quite lucky in Scotland. I train with a lot of different high level. I train with all the best guys in Scotland, basically. And I travel. I was living in Dubai for a bit. I was living in Brazil for a bit. I was living in Portugal. I've been trained in Thailand. I've been right around the world training, sparring, fighting with the best guys in the world. I just fucking love it.
What's the goal then? Like, what do you want to do? Is it still the UFC? Is it just fight, make money, see the world? What is it?
I need to take life one round at a time. So I've got this fight on Saturday, and I'm putting all my attention and energy into that, and nothing's on my mind apart from victory. So then on Sunday, you can ask me that question. We'll see how I go on.
Is there anything of Australia, like when this came up, were you like, oh man, I've always wanted to come out here, or?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I've been everywhere apart from Australia, funny enough. And there's a lot of guys from Scotland and Perth. So I've got quite a lot of Scottish people coming to the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, quite a lot of Aussies are coming as well. So I've always wanted to come, and it's a beauty. Like, I like Australian people because you're very similar to Scottish people.
Yeah.
Your attitude and just you're quite laid back and humble. Do you know what I mean? And you're really similar. Even in the airport, everybody's been really cool. In the hotel, everybody's been really cool. I've only been here for an hour, so. But I love Australian people. Always have. I love. I like Australian. I like Australian rugby players and rugby team and that. I've seen Australia play Scotland before, and just I like good people, man. You're good people. I'm so blessed to be here.
Yeah, the hardest thing is to get what we call you guys backpackers to leave. Is you often come here and go, and then it's funny. You find a beautiful Australian, you marry in, and then you're stuck here forever.
You're stuck. Aye. I'm not doing that anyway. So if the Australian government are looking, thinking I'm going to stay my visa, I'm fucking off on Sunday. I've got a life back home.
Oh, really? So I mean, that's a decent amount of time, but it doesn't feel like you don't get to do any sightseeing. I know it's for a job, but like, are you going to get to enjoy Australia at all?
As I say, I'm going to enjoy that 15 minutes of fighting. It's the most enjoyable thing in the world. When that cage clicks and you're sitting against a man, you're staring against a man who's trained for months to try and beat you up in front of his family or do worse. It's only a referee that's sitting watching it. It's the most calming, purposeful, peaceful thing in the world. And it doesn't matter if it's in Australia or Scotland or fucking India. I don't care. I'm going to go and enjoy it. So that's all the enjoyment for me. Plus, I've got a lot of days to prepare for it. I need to get the weight off. I need to do media and all this kind of stuff. So,
are you an aggressive guy? Like, when you go into a fight, do you want to be hyped up and angry, or are you more of a calm guy going in?
Aggressive? I don't know. I was super aggressive when I was younger. Super aggressive, and then I think I need to be calm. And it's good because Anthony's quite a patient guy. So, I think if I get patient, which I'm going to do, it'll be a good fight, with two who have respect, and it's to be honest with you, on paper, it's a good fight because he's a good boxer, really good boxer. I'm a good boxer, and hopefully we just stand and fucking bang for 3 rounds, man.
Yeah, well, he is without a doubt one of the most exciting flyweights that we've seen in quite some time, and not too many people can stand with him. So this would be very intriguing as a man that is willing and a man that is more than qualified to do so. So I think it's not too many times you see a flyweight as the main event, and there's probably a reason.
As I say, it's my good luck.
Now,
but I think Anthony brings a lot to the table. That straight left he's got is knocking people out. He's never. We'll see. There's a lot I can say about the fight, but I'm going to leave it till Saturday.
Yeah, man. It's going to be very, very interesting. Now, before I let you go, I kind of ask everyone this, but after it's all said and done in the sport of mixed martial arts, how does Brian Hyslop want to be remembered?
A man of principle, and a man that stood true to his original self, and a man that always helped those that were weaker in him, whatever way, strength, physical, emotional, financial. A man that always helped the weaker.
Brian, taking on Anthony Drilich February 22nd, HBF Stadium on UFC Fight Pass. Mate, welcome to Australia and hopefully have a great time.
Thank you, bro. Pleasure. Have a good night, right?